Welcome to the Fourth and Wrong podcast. This is episode 95. I am Dallas, joined here by just Colin today. It's just us two. Marshall may or may not be joining later today. Colin, say what up to the people.
Yo, what's up?
Okay.
No, no, I had a real thought, and then you threw me for a loop there. I didn't realize that we were already up on episode 95. We got to start planning what we're gonna do for the big 100.
Oh, let me get the phone. Yeah, episode 100. I think if the math is
Are we gonna revisit the Hall of Fame?
Of course. This is going to be the Hall of Fame, episode 100. There's going to be some Hall of Fame inductions, and people are going to be happy. People are going to be sad. There's going to be tears of joy. It's going to be amazing. So stay tuned for episode 100. We're going to have more, of course, other than the Hall of Fame. But let's get into episode 95. We're talking about episode 100. We got to get through
I know
95 here, Cal.
we're gonna head
We gotta
ourselves.
we gotta lock in. We gotta lock in. So not too much has happened other than a few big things. Starting off with Kyler Murray is now in Minnesota. He is now a Minnesota Viking on the minimum contract. What is that, like only like a mil, 2 mil at most?
Yeah, something ridiculously low. I know that we dog on Kyler Murray, but he is worth probably a little bit more than that. So I think that's a really good pickup for the Vikings. I mean, obviously they won 9 games last year with nine himself,
Yep.
JJ McCarthy, with Carson Wentz filling in a little bit there, but I think most
Max
of the
Brosmer.
yeah, Max Rosmer. Yeah, yeah. So I think considering what they did last year with damn near nothing at quarterback, I think that's a pretty good pickup for them. Um, I have kind of been seeing that a little bit of their defense, they've lost a couple pieces on the defensive side of the ball.
They
So
have, yes.
I don't know if they're going to be as good defensively, but I mean, maybe if they can kind of, balance out
Hmm.
a little bit, they might be decent enough. I mean, they're going to have a third place schedule, so it's not the easiest schedule that they could have, but it's not going to be, as hard as a first place in the NFC North kind of schedule would be. So I mean, I'm interested to see what happens. Like I said, I know that you and I don't like Kyler as much as Marshall and especially Donnie do, but
I just feel
I
like
think it's a good signing for them.
I know. I think this is a smart, like risk-free signing for them. I think
Yeah.
the
If they
Vikings
had
are
like given
smart.
him a bag for a
Yeah.
couple of years, then I would have been like, okay, what are we doing? But
Yeah, no,
this
100%.
is this is low risk. I don't want to say high reward for them, but it
It
does have a
raises their
lot of
ceiling.
upside. Yeah, for
Yeah, it
sure.
raises their ceiling for sure.
What do we think
Uh,
this means for JJ McCarthy's future in
so
Minnesota?
I genuinely think this
Because
is
they
going to
brought back
be,
Carson Wentz too.
they did, yes. I think this is genuinely going to be a QB battle between Kyler and JJ McCarthy. They did spend a top 10 pick on JJ McCarthy. So, well, also the GM that made that pick is fired. So that
Yeah.
guy's not even there.
Well,
So
that's my point. I mean, obviously, was it
I,
O'Connell in Minnesota, right? Kevin O'Connell.
yes, yep,
Obviously, he was part of that decision process too,
of course.
but the GM that made that pick is gone. So, like, obviously, their new GM is not sold to JJ McCarthy.
I find it very hard to write somebody off. He only started 10 games. So to
I
write
mean,
off
yeah,
a
but he
top,
looked not great in those 10 games.
yes and no. So I saw a stat, I don't have it. He was as comparable to Josh Allen his first 10 starts.
Really.
Very comparable. Obviously, I'm not saying JJ McCarthy is going to be close to Josh Allen. Let me just say that right now.
I also think that his first like 2 seasons in Buffalo, Buffalo was dog shit. Like they had nothing there.
That's true. Um, but I think for the value of the pick, you got to at least give him a chance to fight for the starting position.
Yeah,
Um, if if worst case scenario, you just trade him. I think you can get
yeah,
something back for JJ, and JJ can go be a career backup, which he probably was going to be anyway. At the time of the pick, between him and Michael Penix, there was no thought in my mind that they were even going to get in the first round, let alone the top 10 picks. So
yeah.
that was mind blowing, in my opinion. But I want to go touch on Kyler a little bit. So Marshall and Donnie both think now they have a chance to not only win the division, but to potentially make a Super Bowl run with Kyler
No
at the helm.
shot. No
So
shot.
I just want to get on the same page. Kyler Murray is the fourth best quarterback in the division. Is that correct? Is he better than Goff?
Shit, he might be the fifth best quarterback in the division.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
Honestly,
Goff,
Carson Wentz didn't look bad before he got injured last year. Like Carson Wentz looked okay in those couple of starts that he
he
had
looks
for him.
solid. But keeping it for the logical starters,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
got Goff, Love, Caleb. Kyler Murray.
I swear to God, if Donnie actually
No,
thinks that
they
he's
genuinely do think K Love is like the worst quarterback ever, which that's complete bias on them.
oh, 100%.
Like,
Like I hate the
there's
Packers
no
too.
logic.
Jordan Love is not that bad. I think
Like,
he sucks because he's on the Packers, but like he's definitely on the upper half of the league. And I think Kyler is too. But I think there's a couple player gap still between Jordan Love and Kyler Murray.
yes, I agree. And then for these guys, obviously they're not here to defend themselves, so I'm gonna go a little light on them. Vegas even believes that the Vikings may or may not finish third or fourth in the division this year because their win total is at 8.5. That's
See,
the
I see that. And like I said, they won 9 games with 3 different quarterbacks this year. Granted, like I said, I think their defense is going to be a little bit worse next year, depending on how the rest of this offseason shakes out for them. As of right now, it's looking like their defense is going to be worse. So I am inclined to believe that they might hit around that 8, 9 win total again next year. So I think that's a pretty fair win total for them, betting lines wise.
I'll throw a question.
I do think the over is going to hit on that. I do think they're going to get to 9 wins.
So I'll throw you a question here, Colin. What is more likely, them to finish first in the division or last?
Last, 100%. It is too loaded
Okay.
of a division for them to finish first. I think that they are kind of on their way back up.
Hmm.
Um, I think that they should not have moved on from Sam Darnold. I think that was pretty fucking evident this year.
Yes.
Um, but I guess he hadn't quite proved that it wasn't, just a one-off kind of season yet. And I mean, you could argue that, this season in Seattle could have been a one-off and he's going to suck next year, but I don't see it.
Yeah.
Um, but I think that Minnesota is definitely on the worst half of the NFC North, which
Hmm.
isn't saying much because the NFC North is loaded. I mean, the entire
It
division
is.
finished with 9 wins last year. That's fucking crazy. Um, but yeah, I mean, I've gotten so off track of what your original question was, actually.
Just it was, are they more
Are they more
likely to
likely to finish first or
win
last?
first or
Yeah, I
last?
think they're more likely to finish last than they are first, for
Okay.
sure.
All right, moving on. Trey Hendrickson signed with the Ravens after the Max Crosby deal did not go through due to a failed physical. Uh,
Yeah, man. I don't even think we got to talk about that originally either.
not we didn't go too in depth because at that point, like it just broke. The news had
Right,
just
right. It was
broke.
that same night, so we weren't really sure what was going on.
So to recap what happened, the Ravens originally traded two first round picks for Max Crosby from the Raiders, pending a physical. The Ravens rescinded their trade, so they got both their picks back, and Max Crosby is back in Vegas. And not even what like it was like maybe 3 days later, they signed Trey Hendrickson to a 4-year
Hmm.
deal. It was very shady nonetheless. The GM of the Ravens also didn't help his case, claiming he was trying to get both Max Crosby and Trey Hendrickson at the same time, which that sounds very unlikely. But due to
Yeah.
this failed physical, apparently the value of Max Crosby has also gone down. The last trade I saw was the Cowboys asking for or trading a first and a second round pick for Max Crosby. Of course, the Raiders declined. But not to get too much into Max Crosby, more into Trey Hendrickson. He is leaving the Cincinnati Bengals, staying in division with the Baltimore Ravens. I do think this is a great pickup for the Ravens, getting an edge rusher that they desperately needed. And of course, Trey Hendrickson has a chance to sack Joe Burrow twice a year. The Bengals hate to see this, of course, but I think the Ravens did make the right move by not going through with the Max Crosby trade.
Yeah, I would agree. Um, it's questionable, but I mean, I think it is, I think it is ultimately the right choice. And I think it works out for the Raiders too, like obviously it would have been great in rebuild mode to get all of those picks, but I mean, Max Crosby, I think, has a new invigoration to wanting to be in Las Vegas. And so that gives him motivation. And there's a regime change. So,
Hmm.
maybe it is going to work out for him. And who knows what happens. I think they are going to suck for another year or two before they start to really show some signs of life, especially out in that AFC West division.
Tough
But
division.
yeah, I was going to say, just like the NFC North, I think they're definitely I mean, they're without a doubt going to be that last place team next year, but who knows what could happen after that. Um, I do think that it is, like I said, kind of questionable from the Ravens, and like I was telling you before this, I think that like obviously it works out for them, but like I don't know, man. Like Max Crosby is still going to be Max Crosby, even if he's still
Yeah,
injured and more injured than you thought. I think you still kind of sell out for that kind of talent because he's still going to be Max Crosby on the other side of this. Like,
100%.
I don't know. I guess maybe if you had second thoughts, but like, I don't know, man. Just don't pull the trigger on the deal if you're that. Like, you knew he was injured. Like, you knew that it was going to be like he wasn't going to pass that physical immediately. Like, I just don't know. And I think that it was more of like they were working on both him and Trey at the same time. And then once things came back from like his physical and everything, they were like, well, we could have Trey for a lot cheaper and still have good pass rush. Like,
Yep.
I mean, they would have phenomenal pass rush if they had them both,
Uh,
but
it would be a top one duo in
right.
like
So I mean, I don't know. I don't know exactly what happened, but I think it works out for both sides as shitty as that whole situation was.
Marshall is back here for the podcast. We're talking Trey Hendrickson and Max Crosby right now. The question, Marshall and Colin, is Max Crosby going to get dealt before the season starts? Do we see another team going for Max Crosby in a trade? His value has gone down increasingly low since the Ravens incident, and then of course I believe the Raiders are still looking for two firsts.
Um, I'd say my answer is he will not be traded. Not only is he injured, and teams are now skeptical of what the Ravens saw, but he also came out publicly and kind of said, "You know what? I'm a Raider. Like this is where I am. This is where I'm going to be." And I think they're just going to be content with just holding on to him for now and moving forward.
Colin?
Yeah, I would agree. I don't think they're going to move him at this point. Like I don't know that anyone is going to give you a similar offer to what the Ravens gave you, and that's what it's going to take to move him.
Yep.
And plus, like you saw how reinvigorated he was once everything fell through to like be back in Las Vegas. So like even like when he requested the trade and everything, like he didn't want out from Las Vegas. It was just like he was fed up with like leadership and like wanted a fresh start. Like he
Hmm.
loves Las Vegas and loves the Raiders, but like at this point, like that would be mad shitty of like we're so happy to have you back 2 months later. Oh, see you, buddy. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I like maybe it could happen. There could be some crazy blockbuster trade on like draft night or something. I don't know, but um, I mean they've already got number one overall, so it's not like they really
Yeah.
need to trade up anywhere. So, yeah, no, I don't see him getting traded at this point. I think it would be stupid for everyone involved if they were.
All right. Moving on to another trade that, in my opinion, I think has some significant story. Justin Fields gets traded to the Chiefs. Now, obviously, we have our experience with Justin Fields as a Bear. He didn't do much for the New York Jets. However, Andy Reid with Justin Fields, it's a scary thought process there. But my biggest thing is, does this mean Patrick Mahomes is not going to be ready week one?
I think he will be ready.
I think they're preparing just in case.
I think it is just in case. I do think he'll be ready. He says he'll be ready, but to be fair, everyone says they want to be ready by week one. But I do think he'll be ready. I know the doctors came out and said that it's a good possibility he'd actually be able to make it for preseason. Um, I don't know. I think, yeah, I think it's just basically there because if he's on 100% by week one, it's like, bro, don't play him. So, it should be interesting. I don't think Justin Fields in a Chiefs offense would the fact Patrick Mahomes looked bad in the Chiefs offense last year, I don't wouldn't have hope for Justin Fields looking good in the Chiefs offense. Depends on where they go in the draft. It's just that wide receiver room is so lackluster. It's just so terrible of a wide receiver room. And Travis Kelce's old man. I know he just signed a 3 year extension. I say 3 year because the contract says he can basically play it year by year and decide when he wants to retire. But he will earn money up to 3 years, but he can go out on his own terms if he wants to. But I don't know. I think Mahomes will probably play week one, but it could you never know with those kinds of injuries. You don't want another Aaron Rodgers scenario.
Yep.
Yeah, I would agree.
All right. Marshall brought up Travis Kelce's contract. There's another contract we got to talk about. Jackson Smith and Jigba. JSN, 4 year, 42.15 mil a year. Highest paid wide receiver in the NFL. What do we think about this contract?
Between
I
Alex
think that it
Pierce's
makes me happy that we signed Amon Ra and everybody else on our
we got
team.
J-Mo and
Amen.
Amon-Ra to
Amen.
4 year contracts before anything else could happen.
I think
So
that's the biggest thing is I'm just
hopefully
grateful that we signed them when we did.
either Tesla is going to be a mid wide receiver and we'll get him on a cheap deal, or he's going to become a beast and see you later after 3 years because we
Right.
Yep.
can't have three wide receivers on the same contract that are fucking insane. But Alex Pierce and JSN, it's crazy to put them two in the same sentence is like
Yeah.
resetting the wide receiver market. But Alex Pierce really, I think, reset it just as much as JSN did. Like people are like JSN reset the receiver market. When you're giving a guy that just barely broke 1,000 yards and is like has not even shown much potential besides a couple really good plays in his last season, he got 118 million dollar contract. Like that reset it. And then that basically just moved JSN. But it's basically the next group of guys, Puka, he's gonna
Yep.
get an unbelievable deal. I think personally, after this year, if George Pickens did what he did last year, puts up any kind of 12 to 1,400 number, he won't get as much as JSN, but he will get a boatload of money from a team. Because I think he showed that he, with a good quarterback, is probably a number one on most teams. Um, it just depends, obviously, what team he goes to. So it's definitely reset the wide receiver market for sure. These NFL players are getting paid a lot of money now.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, no. JSN had the best year for a wide receiver, offensive player of the year, led the league in receiving yards. He's definitely due this contract, this money. I was saying it in our group chat. I feel like JSN not only elevated his game, but Sam Darnold's game as well. Not to take anything away from Sam Darnold, I still think Sam Darnold is a top 15 quarterback in this league. However, JSN made him look like a top 10, a top
Hmm.
8 quarterback. And of course, leading to a Super Bowl and winning the Super Bowl. I just think JSN deserved this contract. And of course, Puka right around the corner, he's also going to deserve the contract. He's probably going to get 43 mil in my opinion. Anything else, Colin, about JSN?
No, I think you guys covered it all.
Okay.
Not really. That one's pretty straightforward.
It's, if Donnie was here, we would have a whole discourse about the top 10
Oh,
wide
bro, don't
receivers
even
in the
get me
league.
started.
We're not going to get into it because Donnie's not here to defend himself, even though it's a terrible hill to die on by him. But I digress. Um, we'll pause it right here. Marshall, is there anything you wanted to talk about on the pod today? I'll let you know what we did talk about. We talked about Kyler to the Vikings, Trey Hendrickson deal. Oh, we did not mention T.Y. Hilton and Levante David retired as of today from the NFL. Obviously, T.Y. Hilton hasn't played since 2022, but Levante David was still talked about as a big a big person to get in this free agency cycle. So him retiring is pretty
Yeah.
big. Um, anything you want to talk about, Marshall?
Um,
If not, this is going to be a short episode.
I'm definitely okay with that. I got a lot of things that I'm doing. Shout out St. John's for making it to the Sweet 16. Shout out MSU making it to the Sweet 16. Shout out the state of Michigan for making it to the just both teams making it to the
State
Sweet
of Michigan
16.
is eating right now.
It is. Well, the Pistons are on top right now. Even without Cade, they're still winning. Tigers baseball hopefully has a lot of promise. We'll see what the hopefully the Lions do good, and then Michigan and Michigan State basketball are just tearing it up right now. So yeah, just it's been a decent March Madness. That was another controversy that Donnie also me and him had, where he said that March Madness was awful, and I said it was the second best sporting event in all of sports in terms of the Super Bowl, March Madness, the Masters, NBA playoffs slash
Daytona
finals.
500.
Facts. Daytona 500, MLB playoffs slash finals. I said it was the second best. He said it was one of the worst. So if you guys are watching this, let us know what. And there's been always the blind rankings or the rankings of where you would rank those types of things, but where do you guys got stuff? And me personally, I like the Super Bowl's at the top for me. Then it's then it's March Madness. Then I got the World Series probably in there, the Masters, Daytona 500. Those are my kind of NBA playoffs is still goated and stuff. I just yeah, it's March Madness has been it's always great. And if you are from we will be losing, we have 50 states in the United States, but with Iowa versus Nebraska, we might lose a state because when it comes to basketball,
Yeah.
that's going to be an insane game.
Well,
Like
so Nebraska just won their first NCAA tournament game ever this year. That round of
Mhm.
64 game was their first ever win in the tournament, and now they have a chance to go to the Elite Eight and
that's
maybe even the Final
insane.
Four.
And it's
Brett
just like
Hoiberg needs to be
who
the
likes corn
national coach
more?
of the year.
Who likes corn more?
Who likes corn more?
Like that's really what
Mm.
this it is. That there is some because that's what me and Donnie were talking about. He's like, "Oh, this year's been boring." I was like, "This year has not been boring." I was like, "There's always something in March Madness every single year that you could pick out and be like, bro, that was actually kind of crazy that happened every single year." And this year, got 11 seed Texas going in the Sweet 16 right now. We got the Iowa versus Nebraska is going to be crazy. Uh, there's going to be some interesting games. I think MSU has a decent chance against UConn. It's going to be a tough game, but.
Yeah,
Michigan
I
versus
have them losing in
Alabama.
the Elite Eight anyway to Duke. So
Michigan versus Alabama is going to be wild. I think Michigan will probably win, but
I think that'll be a
Alabama,
fun game.
Alabama's
Alabama,
gotten hot
their
lately.
Yeah.
offense is insane. They
They're
scored
missing
so much.
their second leading scorer right now, by the
Yeah, and
way.
their top leading scorer only had like 6 points in that last game. Like he literally wasn't even that effective. They were just shooting everything. So that game should also be wild. And then obviously Iowa, Nebraska, and then Duke versus St. John's. The St. John's year, a crazy year for them. Can they just pull off an insane upset against Duke? It's been a
Yeah.
fun March Madness so far. Unfortunately, the survivors bracket that we entered
Ah,
in
Yeah.
Gonzaga absolutely hurt us
Gonzaga,
deep.
bro. Part of
So
me like
I feel a little bit better because like I pushed that Gonzaga pick, but then
oh yeah, tell Donnie he owes me money for
uh,
that. He never gave me the money for that.
I will tell him. But what makes me feel a little better is I pushed the Gonzaga pick, but then Zach was trying to push the Vandy pick that same day as well, and they also lost. And a heartbreaker, but they also lost. So I was like, okay, if Vandy would have won, I'd have been like, fuck, I should have just shut up. Like I should have just never said anything.
Both teams should have won. Let's just be
Oh,
fair.
for real. That Vandy game was insane. The fact that shot didn't go in. I mean, I'm all for Nebraska moving on, but Vandy definitely I think should have got the win there. But
Yep.
no, in terms of actual football news, we're in the depths of the offseason right now. We're just really waiting for the NFL drafts, waiting
Yep.
for basically any sort of NFL news. But once the NFL draft hits, you get the NFL draft, then you've got the schedule, then you got training camp. So right now it's just
Yeah.
kind of waiting. We're in the dead zone of nothing really happening because we already went
Just
over all the signings last week.
yep, we're on
Um,
cruise control right now.
yeah, we are. I'm trying to think of anything else. If something, hold on. Sometimes I usually screenshot stuff. If it's like I want to talk about it. So let me check real
Now I'm kind of
quick.
scrolling through my feeds right now too to see if we missed anything.
Mhm. Um, not that I see. I mean, this is has nothing. I mean, not really football related, but don't let Aaron Judge ever play for Team USA again. That man could not swing his bat to save his life. I did read that there's been reports that Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes are having, for the first time, different differences in opinion on how their offseason is going with the roster reconstruction.
Mhm.
And I definitely can see it. Like I definitely could see that there would be some controversy on these moves that have been made. I think Dan is a very loyal guy that wants his guys there that have been there. Especially if there's no reason for them to go. I think Taylor Decker, there was a little bit of a reason, but like we need him. Like I think we didn't really need to lose him, and I feel like Brad was kind of being stubborn. And then I think we should have kept Monty. So
I,
and
I
then
think I think that move right there, Dan would
Dan
have
did
loved to
definitely
keep Monty.
definitely didn't like that. And then on top of that, we just aren't as aggressive as we probably could have been. I think were we an F tier team in free agency? No. Were we an A tier team? No. I like the center, Cade Mays was a solid sign.
I
Isaiah
think that was our
Pacheco.
best sign,
Oh
honestly.
yeah, for sure. I think Isaiah Pacheco was a solid signing. Obviously, he is good, and I think he has potential to be a Monty level guy. I mean, before his injury, he was the number one in Kansas City.
Yep.
And then Roger McCreary, we actually was nasty in Tennessee for a while, so he could be a good depth piece and a nickel corner for us. But still, I just feel like you lose those guys, you kind of lose the fans a little bit. You don't need to make an insane $140 million splash, but I just feel like you can't leave everything up to the draft because At this point, you're suffering from success and it's just not helping you. Like you have, draft all these good guys, but guess what? Down the road, you got to pay them. Like you always can't have the young guys. Sometimes you need to go sign a veteran. And Brad Holmes would draw me back in right now with a Cameron Jordan signing, a
Ooh.
Jadeveon Clowney signing. Like we don't have another edge rusher right now. How are we going to get a left tackle and an edge rusher? You cannot rely on a second round pick to be a starter immediately out of the gate. We have absolutely nobody to play at left tackle. Like there's nobody you can move. Like it's just not going to work. And there is nobody, absolutely nobody at edge. Like we have two edge rushers on our depth chart, and one of the guys has never played a down of football. So you absolutely have to fill in one of those holes with a free agent. You cannot leave it up to a second round pick. So if it's a big left tackle signing or a Cam Jordan signing, because Cam Jordan would be huge. He's definitely out of
Oh
his
yeah.
prime, but man, to have that kind of guy, that kind of presence, amazing locker room guy, still putting up like 8 to 10 sacks a season. He would free up Hutch a little bit more to do what he feels free. Obviously, he would put that's a lot of trust that Hutch could put in a guy like that. It would
Hmm.
help out the D line a lot. So I don't know. I'm definitely not the people out here saying Brad gotta go. Like you gotta go. Absolutely not. The fact that we've had three straight winning seasons, I mean, and two of those we've made the playoffs, a one seed in NFC Championship game. What I told Donnie is what will take for them to actually be on the hot seat and like you gotta go is two straight losing seasons. You lose this, you go into losing season this season, it's like okay, that this is we're basically like we need to do something here. And
So
then you
you
go in,
mean by missing the playoffs twice or like losing records?
I would say
Because this
definitely,
year we had a winning record.
but we missed
We
the
just, but
playoffs.
we missed the playoffs.
It's give or take. I would say because like I could say miss playoffs, but if we go 10-7, like if something unfortunate happens, like a scenario like that where we go 10-7, but the NFC West is stacked,
Hmm.
the East is getting better and better. Like if we go 10-7 and miss the playoffs, then no. But yes, if we go another 9-8 and miss the playoffs, I would count that as a bad season. 10-7 and missing the playoffs, it's like okay, that's just rough luck. But
What's
I
the minimum like standings? Do we have to be at least second in the division this year?
I think our division is tough.
It's tough. So like I'm just trying to like what's the bar we're
I
setting
I
ourselves at?
think we need 10 wins, and if we don't hit 10 wins, then it's basically going into 2027 with the mentality we have to make playoffs or bust here. If we don't make playoffs, Dan or Brad is on the hot seat, if not both. Something like it's hard to put them on the hot seat with everything they've done, but yeah, if we don't get 10 wins this year, if we get 9 wins and makes the playoffs, then something happened because our division's nasty. But if we don't get 10 wins, I would say that there is, especially with how easy our schedule is. Like
Yeah,
we got
fourth
an
place. Yep.
easy ass schedule. So I would say 10 wins. If not that, then you go into 2027 with basically your job's on the line, Brad. Like you've got to make a splash. You've got to do something. Or else you guys are something's gonna change. So I still have faith. Obviously, I'm not saying that these guys are the best in the league, but I put all my like man, I put faith in Matt Patricia for the second year he was there. Like I'm gonna put faith in Brad Holmes and
Yeah.
Dan Campbell still. So no, that's it for me.
All right, Colin, you got anything?
No,
All right. We can get into our thing here. Exit full screen. Okay.
Please tell me I'm drafting against Colin.
No, it's not. You guys
Damn.
are working together.
Damn.
All right, gotta send the request.
I am going to be terrible at this because I don't watch a lot of football movies. I'm going to be real.
No, it's not it's a different one, Colin.
Oh, it is a different
Oh,
one?
yo, I was about to
Different
be
one.
hyped.
So we
Football
are saving that
movie.
one then.
We're saving that one till Donnie's on the pod.
Fucking
Okay.
Donnie. Gosh, why didn't I text him? God,
I don't
why
know.
is he
Why
got
didn't you?
It's not my. It's not my. That's not my duty. Like, why can't he just
That
be
is your
a
duty.
grown man and stay in a group chat?
That is
Mute it. Do something. Who cares?
all right. So you guys as a team are going to be guessing the NFL team by the draft comparison. So let me break it down for you guys. I'm going to give you a starting offense, but the players in those spots are their player comps from when they were in the draft. So for example, if Tom Brady, if this was like the '07 Patriots, and the quarterback's Tom Brady, his player comp is who I would put in the quarterback position. So we'll get into the first one. So that way it's a little easier for you guys to see. But you guys have three total guesses as a group. Starting with the first team. The quarterback in the draft was comped to be Tim Tebow. The running back, Barry Sanders. Wide receiver one, Juju Smith Schuster. Wide receiver two, Calvin Ridley. And the tight end, Zach Ertz.
So this is a team we're trying to guess.
This is a current team, and
How
those
many
were
of
their
these are
draft
there? Because
comps.
this
There's
might be
only five.
rough.
There's only
Okay,
five.
I was about to say.
This is the easiest one.
Bro, you've got me stumped. Um,
So break if you
how
want
do
to
you even
break it.
find this?
Hey, I got my ways. So
Is
break
this
it
the
down
Colts?
is not the Colts. So that's one guess. Colin
I was
just
going to say
ripped
Anthony
the
Richardson was
guess.
the quarterback.
Shot in the dark. Bro said, "Shh, fuck it."
So the best way to go about this is looking at a position and then that player. What's that player's play style? What's the archetypes those players have? So like a quarterback Tim Tebow-esque
Okay.
that's currently in the league.
We can rule out
Oh,
some
wait a
teams.
fucking minute.
We can rule out some teams. It's not the Lions. Like, there's no way Jared Goff's getting comped to Tim Tebow. Um,
I
we
mean, he
can.
was the number one overall pick, though, in his draft class, though. So
Yeah,
this
but
is
Tim
his
Tebow
draft.
can actually move his legs.
True. I
Um,
mean, Jared wasn't immobile for the early part of his career. He could kind of run.
no.
No.
There's no way. This is so like.
There's a running back comped to Barry Sanders.
Yeah, whoever did that's a fucking unless this is it can't be Saquon. That's not a well, so we've got to think about it logically. So like because I immediately went like Eagles because like Saquon, but AJ Brown was drafted around the same time as Juju. No, Juju
I
was definitely
think
before him.
so.
So you because like we can rule it out that way. It's like okay, well with Juju is probably basically the only person here we can rule that out with. Here, there's no way Mr. Irrelevant is getting draft
Right.
comparisons
No,
from
exactly.
anybody. Because like I was thinking Christian McCaffrey, Barry Sanders. There's just no way. They're like, yep, this guy could be Tim Tebow. I know he was the last pick ever, but um,
Marshall, I gotta be honest, man. You said a team and already that was
it
the
what
correct answer.
was it the Eagles?
It is the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, okay, yeah, I guess that one does make sense.
Saquon was getting Barry Sander comps
I
out of
mean,
college.
that's
I
not
mean,
that's
that's
not
not crazy.
crazy.
That's
He,
not
he
crazy.
he was nuts in college. I
What do
mean,
you
he
guys
was
think
nuts
of
in the NFL too, but
that's
you know what I
true.
mean?
What do you guys think of the Tim Tebow Jalen Hurts comp? How do we feel about that?
I think that's kind of crazy.
I did no. You mean Tim Tebow?
And then of course the Juju to AJ Brown I thought was crazy also. Like that
They were too close to, I feel like, in draft age to be comping
so,
Juju Smith-Schuster. What did he accomplish at that point?
some of the ones that I found are pretty close. Um and then I just thought it was hilarious. Zach Ertz and Dallas Goddard comp.
I
Like
can
they
hear
just
you, so you can keep going. I'm just fixing
okay.
something.
I just thought that was hilarious. So let's go on to team number two. This team's quarterback was comped to Matt Ryan, running back Alvin Kamara, wide receiver one Keelan Cole, wide receiver two Will Fuller, and then tight end Tyler Higbee.
I immediately want to go Detroit Lions here. Like absolutely, like I like it.
I would say
First
Alvin
off,
Kamara kind of. I feel like I
I
remember Alvin Kamara
I
being
like
brought
the
up
Alvin
about
Kamara
Jameer
Jameer
Gibbs.
Gibbs compromise. Same thing with Matt Ryan Jared Goff. The fact that I barely know who Keelan Cole is and Amon Ra was a fourth round pick makes a lot of sense. My guess, Detroit Lions.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
It is the Detroit
Yeah,
Lions.
that
Okay.
makes sense.
I thought the Keelan Cole and Will Fuller pulls would kind of throw you guys off.
Keelan Cole
Just
for sure threw me off. I was like, who the fuck?
I thought that those would definitely
Yeah.
cause a
Yeah, that was a good
misfire
one.
on a guess. All right, next up, team number three, quarterback Jake Locker. Running back, we got what is that fucking
Darrington Evans.
Darrington Evans, Jesus Christ. Wide receiver Stephon Diggs, wide
Shout out
receiver
Antoine Randall L.
Antoine Randall L, and then tight end we got Zach Ertz again.
Okay. So a not so great quarterback coming out of the draft. Like gotta be maybe back end of the first round. An awful running back. Like, gotta be a third round pick past.
Wide receiver Stephon Diggs.
It's not a terrible comp, so they have a pretty good wide receiver.
Wide receiver Antoine Randall L.
Antoine Randall, also a pretty good wide receiver.
Then Zach Ertz is Zach Ertz. I
Also a
don't.
good tight end, so at least he was.
What are we thinking here, boys?
I'm thinking a lot. I'm just trying to narrow it down.
These are like their comps coming out, like coming into the league, right?
Coming into like their draft, like if you went to their draft profile
Who
and
was
you
listed as
scrolled,
their comp?
that was their listed comp.
Gotcha.
By the way, I got this idea from the Deep Three podcast, their basketball podcast. They did the exact same thing, but
But
it
with
was a
NBA.
starting five. Yep.
Jake
That's pretty sick.
Locker. Jake Locker is just insane, bro.
Jake Locker is insane.
Uh, I mean, Jake, I don't know.
This one's a tough one. I'll give you a hint. One of the wide receivers should tell you about this team.
I'm honestly stumped. I got nothing for you, Marshall. This is all on you.
There's a chance this could be the Seattle Seahawks.
Was JSN getting Stephon Diggs comps? Is that
I
That,
don't know.
that
I will be right back.
at the time, that wouldn't be too far-fetched. Because Stephon Diggs at that time was a decent wide receiver. Hmm. Stephon Diggs, who plays a lot. JSN, I feel like coming out, people would have said, he kind of gives off that Stephon Diggs vibe of like play style. So that's exactly kind of where I was going. Kind of think of more of a middle like height kind of guy. Darrington Evans. I'm gonna say Seattle Seahawks. I'll make that a guess.
it is not the Seattle Seahawks.
Hmm.
I'll narrow it down. AFC.
Is it the Chargers?
It is not the Chargers.
Fuck, one more guess. There's no way Joe Burrow was getting Jake Locker. There's no way Shadur was getting Jake Locker.
Shout out
There's no
Shador.
way Rodgers was before Jake Locker. So
Yeah.
can't be the Steelers. Uh what's the other team in that division? The Ravens. They better not be Lamar getting Jake Locker. Okay, so AFC North has been ruled out. So no Chiefs, no AFC North. AFC West, no Chargers. There's no way Mahomes. I mean, to be fair, Mahomes, like everyone forgets, he wasn't the biggest prospect coming out. But what wide receiver one on that team is getting? Travis Kelce was before Zach Ertz, I think. So I'm gonna say no on the Chiefs. The Raiders don't even have a quarterback. Um, Chargers, Raiders, Chiefs, Broncos.
I just looked up
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes player comp.
Yeah.
Jay Cutler.
Wild work. Okay, so AFC East. Dolphins don't have a quarterback, a wide receiver one or two. Um, Bills. Ooh, Bills. I don't remember who their wide receiver one is. Who they just signed? They just went out and got somebody. Can I get that answer? Who did they just sign?
They just signed DJ Moore. They just got DJ Moore in a trade.
That's not terrible. That's not terrible. Okay, Bills are my next guess if I don't have another option. Okay, AFC South is my last division I really need to go through because I got Patriots no, Dolphins no, Bills maybe. Is that like Jets? Who do the Jets even have as a quarterback? Who is the Jets quarterback? It's Gino.
It is Gino now. Yep.
Brees Hall was not getting no. I mean, Garrett Wilson, Stephon Diggs is definitely not a bad, but like Zach Ertz, like tight end, I don't know. South, Colts, Daniel Jones, Jonathan Taylor, Alex Pierce better not have been getting
A lot of digs.
Stroud to Jay Cutler, Nico Collins, Stephon Diggs. Hell no, there's no way. Um, Jaguars. It's not terrible. Titans. Cam Ward. Bills and Jaguars really kind of I don't want to say the Bills, but I'm gonna shoot for it. Jaguars.
The Bills.
Gosh, I narrowed it down so well.
You did narrow it down
So well.
really well. Um,
Man,
yeah, I knew that one would be the tougher ones too. And
I,
the
I
reason
just
I
wanted
said
to pull it at the last second.
the reason I brought up the Stephon Diggs, he
I get
played
the
for the Bills,
I
man.
get I get the comps. I do get the comps.
Like the comps are solid. Obviously, Josh Allen was so raw coming out of
Yeah,
college.
there was
James
so
Cook was
much.
like a not a big name.
I just switched it last second just because I thought I was wrong with Bosa and I was missing. I was just completely overlooking it. I shouldn't have overthought it. I should have just went with the team I was most confident with.
Yep. All right. Colin's not here. We're still moving on to team number 4. Quarterback, Andrew Luck. Halfback, AJ
Double
Dillon.
Jarvis Landry, straight up.
Double Jarvis Landry at the wide receiver and tight end,
Gosh,
Luke Farrell.
Andrew Luck.
The only reason this is on here is because of the double Jarvis Landry.
AJ Dillon, so it's got to be a power back. Immediately, I went to Monty because I kind of, but and Stroud and Luck wouldn't be that crazy of a comparison. But Nico Collins, a big body receiver compared to Jarvis Landry, no, there's no way.
Bro, I come back and I see double Jarvis Landry. What the hell are we doing?
So just so you know, Colin, the last one was the Bills with Jake Locker
And
as
I narrowed it down to
That's
literally
fucking
two.
crazy.
I narrowed it down
I
to the
would
two
never have gotten
teams.
that in a million years.
Marshall did his due diligence, narrowed it
Uh,
down to 2 teams, picked the wrong team.
I just over I
I
overthought it.
I dead ass thought I was about to throw up, but I'm good now. So
Oh, yeah, thank God, Colin.
Are you sick? Are you all
I
right?
Pregnant?
I did just get over a cold, but
Ah,
like I don't know where that came from because I haven't been like sick to my stomach this
Bro
whole
realized
time.
how hard this trivia was. He said, I'm
this
nervous.
this trivia
Yeah,
got him sick to his stomach.
man. No, I'm good now. We
All
locked
right.
in. We're good.
All right, Colin. So quarterback Andrew Luck, running back AJ Dillon, double Jarvis Landry, and then Luke Farrell. Who's getting Andrew Luck comps out here? We got double Jarvis Landry. Shout out, man.
I have ruled out the NFC North. The only team it possibly could be is the Packers, but
Jordan Love getting Andrew Luck comps. Donnie would fucking break his skull open.
Two wide receivers for the Packers getting Jarvis Landry
I
comps.
immediately am like, I like the Giants on this one.
Jackson Dart, Andrew Luck. Okay, I can see it. I can see it.
Same sort of plays. They can move, they can throw. AJ Dillon with Cam Scadaboo makes a lot of
No,
sense.
no.
Hell, when I overthought it last time, I was right. I was wrong, but
You do have 3 guesses.
We'll keep that one in the back pocket.
Okay.
Okay, so everybody else in the NFC East. Cowboys, no. There's no way George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb are getting compared to Jarvis Landry. It's gotta be the same type of kind of wide receiver, I would think. Commanders, no. Eagles, no. We already got the Eagles. We know their comparisons. That's an easier one. We can rule out teams that have already been done.
That's true.
So
That does help.
definitely not the Eagles. NFC West, Rams. Well, Matt Stafford was
I was say
before.
could not have been.
Yeah,
Could
yeah,
not have been a
Stafford.
bit.
Stafford was already before Luck, so no.
I got
Cardinal.
it. I got it.
You got it?
Go
It's the
ahead.
Seahawks.
It is the Seattle
Sam Darnold was getting
Seahawks.
Andrew Luck
Damn.
because Sam Darnold was kind of a beast in college. I'm
He
not gonna lie.
was. He
He was up for the
was.
Heisman.
How do we feel about JSN and Cooper Cup both getting Jarvis
That's kind of
Landry?
crazy. I'm not
That
gonna lie.
makes it does make
I
sense.
couldn't for the life of me like think of who that second Jarvis Landry was going to be. But now that I see Cooper Cup, that does kind of make sense. But I was like, AJ Dillon is such like a random ass running back to compare him to. And I was for a minute I was still like K9. I was like, no, it can't be the Seahawks then because K9's not AJ Dillon. And I was like, wait a minute, he's gone.
And that's what
That's
I was
crazy.
that's what I was waiting for you guys to realize that K9's not there anymore.
Yeah.
Let me see who K9's draft comp was.
Very
OJ
dangerous.
Simpson.
Huh? Willie Parker. All right.
Shout out Willie Parker.
Shout out Willie Parker.
I feel like this is the second time we've shouted out Willie Parker on this
Just
It
podcast.
letting you
might,
know, if it was Billy Cannon, I'd have left this call within seconds. You would have never seen
nah,
it.
that's Cam Scatabo. So uh let's go to the fifth and final team. Team number 5, quarterback Joey
Joey fucking
Harrington.
Harrington, what are we doing?
Running back
Wayne
Wayne
Gallman.
Gallman. Wide receiver Josh Gordon, wide receiver Cortland Sutton, and tight end Tyler Eifert.
You know, it's a bad day when Joey Harrington is making
Trivia's, man.
Wayne Gallum. Are we dead ass? That man was hot ass. Josh Gordon, who smokes the most weed in the NFL right now. This
Oh,
team, this team has to have the worst fucking quarterback. Like, there's no way we're Joey Harrington, right? Like, what are we doing?
and we definitely forgot to talk about Jalen Waddle going to the Broncos, by the
Oh,
way.
we totally did. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right though. Because the Cortland Sutton made me just think about the Broncos just
Right.
now.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
what person compared Joey? Yeah, you know, he's looks good, but he's gonna be a bust. Like, who? What kind of comparison? This has to be a guy not drafted in the first round. There's no way. I'd say Brock Purdy comes to mind, but if Wayne Gallum is if they're comparing Christian McCaffrey to Wayne Gallum, then we have problems. Um,
I don't know who Wayne Gallum is. It's Wayne Gallman.
whatever. Okay, trash quarterbacks. Let's go.
There you
Tyler
go.
Murray.
Yeah,
There's
it's the
no
Vikings.
way Joey Harrington is getting Kyler Murray. Justin Jefferson compared to Josh Gordon would be insane. Yes, it's not the Lions, not the Vikings, not the Packers, not the Bears. Boom, out of there. It's not.
This man Marshall paused.
The Rams would be crazy if they compared Stafford to Joey Harrington. Yeah, but just
Stafford
gonna be
was a
another.
first overall pick, bro. There's no
Joey
shot.
Harrington was a fourth overall pick. Maybe they thought the same thing was going to happen. Yeah, Lions are going to draft another quarterback, and he's going to be hot garbage.
True.
I'm gonna say no. Cardinal. Who the fuck is? Could be the Cardinals. You know,
Jacoby
Jacoby
Brissett.
Brissett and whoever their running back is, and Josh Gordon. Yeah. You know what,
Yeah,
Cardinals?
it is not the Cardinals.
Ooh, that honestly wasn't a bad pick, though.
I just needed to get that off my mind. Okay. All right, going through the rest of the NFC West. No Niners, no Rams, no Cardinals, no Seahawks. So NFC North and West are ruled out. What about the South? The Bucks. Was Baker getting Joey Harrington polls? I mean,
No
that'd
shot.
be crazy. No Bucks, The Saints is not a bad pull here.
That was one of my first thoughts, but I wasn't exactly sure why. It
Because
was kind of just a gut feeling.
Alvin Kamara was only a third round pick. He wasn't that high of coming out of the draft. Let's get it out of here. Saints.
It is not the Saints.
Damn. Okay. Okay.
Bryce Young was not getting Joey Harrington pulls. I will never ever believe that. So not the Panthers, Falcons. Saying Michael
No shot.
Penix,
No
yeah, can't
shot.
Bijan is not getting okay. So NFC South ruled out. NFC East, Cowboys.
No. Not
No.
Cowboys. Not the Eagles.
Well, no, not.
Not going to be the Commanders. Jaden Daniels was coming off a Heisman season when he got drafted.
I mean, the Cowboys isn't a crazy pull. If you really think about it, I mean, Dak wasn't a first round pick. He was like a second or third. And Javonte Williams was, he was also a second round pick.
Yeah, but the wide
George Pickens
receivers.
was an absolute menace. And CeeDee Lamb, at the time, he was a mid first round pick. I'm keeping Cowboys on the down low, just in
I
case.
don't hate it.
On the
You've kind of
down low.
convinced me a little bit.
On the down low.
I
If
don't
you
hate it.
really think about it, it's not that far fetched. Um, Giants, no. Eagles, we already got the Eagles.
Yeah.
What's that other team in the East?
Commanders.
Commanders. There's no way.
It's not the Commanders.
Okay, moving to the AFC. Patriots. Drake name was getting Joey Harrington vibes, then we have problems. The Dolphins. I don't even know who the Dolphins wide receiver 1 and 2 are at the current moment. Was
That is a good question.
Yeah, no, I'm just skipping over it. The Jets, Geno. I can see the Joe Harrington Geno comparison, but Brees Hall to Gallman, Garrett Wilson to Josh Gordon.
No shot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. What about the Browns? Hear me out. Shador. The the Browns is not a crazy. Everyone else in the AFC North is ruled out. It could not be Lamar, Aaron Rodgers, or Joe Burrow getting compared to Joey Harrington.
Yeah. What about the South, the AFC South? It's a terrible division. I feel like this is a sucky team.
Wait, actually, Aaron Rodgers absolutely could have been getting Joey Harrington comparisons. With when he came out of the draft, like 2006, that is not out of the realm of possibility. So we have the Steelers, the Browns, the Cowboys are our suspicions.
Man, Colin can't wait to go to bed.
Can we get an
Yeah, no.
AFC or an NFC?
AFC.
AFC. Okay.
This,
I'm not
bro, this,
100% sold on either of those two teams. Let's continue to walk through the AFC because my gut is screaming AFC South for this team.
okay, let's run through it.
I don't
Texans.
think it's
It's not the Texans.
it's not the Texans.
The
I
Colts.
honestly don't think it's the Titans.
I don't think it's the. It's not the Colts.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the Colts.
It's not the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence was one of the most highly rated picks coming into the draft.
So I guess not. Never mind. Okay, then maybe it is.
Chargers,
So let it be known, Marshall
Broncos.
thought Trevor Lawrence was getting Jake Locker comps earlier in this.
Not the
Glad I wasn't
Chargers,
here for
not the
that.
Broncos, not the Chiefs. The Raiders don't even have a QB1 as of right now, and Genty was not getting Wayne Gallman vibes. Bills, no. Patriots, no. Dolphins, I don't know. The Browns, the Steelers,
I think it's more likely the Browns than it is the Steelers
bro.
out of those
I
two
just I
teams.
don't know why, but like the Steelers, that's one that I'm like, it could be just where Rodgers was coming out in the draft and Harrington wasn't even out of the league yet. I don't know. This is tough.
That's why it's the last one.
I don't. The Steelers is like I think this is one I'm gonna say, Colin. I think it's the Steelers. If you want to pick something else, I understand. But my thing
I
is,
mean, it's a shot in the dark at this point. I
I
don't really
think I
know.
think the Rodgers to Joey Harrington comparison. Rodgers fell a lot in the draft. Joey Harrington was still in the league at this point and bouncing from team to team, I imagine. And I think this is something Dallas would do to make the last one. Like you take one of the best quarterbacks of all time and compare him with Joey Harrington. It's not something we'd immediately think of. But if you think about it, there is no other starting quarterback in the league that should be getting compared to Joey Harrington.
Okay,
Unless
okay.
it's a guy
I see the thought process here. You're
unless it's a
selling me on
guy
it.
that was drafted around the time of Joey Harrington, probably 3, 4 years after he did. Because the only other guy that was drafted in that era, in the 2000s, was Stafford, and he was a #1 overall pick. So there's no
Yeah, I
way.
think you're right.
It's the if I'm wrong, then I don't know what is real. It's got to be the Steelers.
Marshall, you're living in the Matrix right now. You don't know what's real, what's fake.
I don't know. This is
I will
true.
tell you right now, Marshall, you took the correct pill. It's the
Let's
Steelers.
go. It made sense,
For the
man.
life of me, I could not think of the Steelers wide receivers right now.
DK Metcalf and Michael
Just
Pittman.
what, like, why? Who else is getting Joey Harrington vibes? Because like, you have to be a backup to be getting. The only other guy I could think of was Gino.
The Geno I was like, you know what? I could see it.
Yeah.
Oh man, what a crazy pull there. That made up for the Bills one.
It did make up for the Bills one.
Yeah, that was a good pull.
All right, Marshall, send us away.
All right, well, I know I was only here half the time, but thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. We are doing podcasts every other week, just trying to find content until we get to NFL draft and more NFL content. But thank you guys for watching. We will see you guys in 2 weeks. Peace.